your eyes for a minute. Close your eyes for a second.
Trouble at sea. And in the classic phrase from Cathy Hilton, the boat rides ain't working. And I'm going to second that by saying the dinner date or the dinner sit downs ain't working either. So where do we go from here? Gather in, guys, gather in Posh Farm. Let's sit down around the fireplace and unpack the last episode. That was the Diamond Ladies. And by Diamond Ladies, I mean the Real Housewives of Beverly. You know, St. Lucia, was looking like the trip that was going to undo all the hurt that Dorit feels or felt has been done to her. And you know what? It certainly seemed like it. But it was only for a few hours. It was only for a few hours of peace. And we are back to the arguments and disagreements. It is chaos at this point. I do not know where we're going to go from here. And quite frankly, I am exhausted. And I'm pretty sure you as a viewer, you are exhausted as well. And thank you for supporting this channel. Please do subscribe, hit the notification button, like, comment, and share this channel with your friends and family. Guys, I would say there were two major talking points on this episode. One was on the dinner date, and the other on the Caramarine, or is that what it's called? Caramarine. And this was also, the dinner date was followed by bedside debrief between the ladies just before the boat ride. Guys, there were two major talking points on this episode. The first being just after the ladies arrived in St. Lucia, they had a dinner date where, a few conversations was had. And the next was followed, or I guess the next thing that followed was a debrief session by a few of the ladies, pocket of conversation as always. And the second major talking point happened on the catamaran. This time it was a ride that was from hell. And guess what? Sutton tried to make a pit stop, but you know what? When you're at sea, there ain't no pit stop. So maybe you probably just get a life jacket and jump on the sea. Now that did not happen, so she had no choice in this matter. Very quickly, during the dinner sit down, Dorit, as always, she always had like a bone. She's feeling like a bone collector. I'm feeling like Dorit is a bone collector this particular season. And she's collecting too many bones. It might choke her before the season ends, because it's now becoming of her to constantly find something to speak on, or some hurt that has. I mean, she's been hard done by pretty much everyone in the group. And so at every episode, there is something that Dorit wants to unpack, or wants to have a chat about, or wants to settle scores on. It's insane. So this particular time, Dorit, re-echoed the Caspia event and the words that were used by Sutton, which we all know were totally unacceptable. And you know what? It was more like I felt there was a turnaround here on Sutton's part, because Sutton apologized profusely. Okay, Sutton apologized profusely, and with every apology, Dorit felt unsatisfied. Dorit felt that there was more apology than in fact she needed to have every particular moment that she was hard done by to be apologized for by Dorit. Now, by Sutton, I mean. I think the ladies then decided, okay, Dorit, you might just need to let this go. She's apologized profusely. She feels sorry. She's acknowledged that what she said was inappropriate. What are you going to be accountable for here? And this was a conversation that was held by both to Dorit. Dorit felt, I thought you were on my side. That was the look she gave her friend. There were literally a lot of looks this particular sit down. The first look came from Garcelle giving her best friend or bestie, like I said, troubles at sea, trouble in that relationship, guys. She gave her best friend the side eye when she was literally like puppy eyeing Kaale. It appears Sutton is obsessed with Kaale. Like, we're not telling you, this is so high school, how the Mean Girls club and those on the outs are adoring the particular Mean Girls because they want to be close to them, they want to do everything for them. This is exactly how it felt. You know what? At this point, Kaale decided to defend Sutton and say she's apologizing. And that's a step in the right direction. And you know what? It didn't seem like Dory was satisfied, but I guess at this point, there was no more apology that was to be had or given by Sutton on this dinner table. Okay. Bose then informed us or updated us about the fact that she went to a bar and saw Mauricio hanging out with another female and decided she was going to be calling and giving Kaale the heads up and to see if she was going to be knocking someone out of their chair on Kaale's behalf. Now, I would say that is something that I can see Bose doing. Bose is a very defensive, protective friend, and I think that's the kind of girl you want in your corner. I really I could feel the positive energy, even though I wasn't there, from Bose, like trying to support her friend Kaale. And guess what? They are only just starting to be friends on the show. Now, when it comes to Sutton and Garcelle's relationship, it appears crack is starting to show. Garcelle expressed, she felt unsupported by Sutton. Now, she did say this during a conversation where she mentioned or wanted clarity on the Morgan Wade situation with Kaale. Erica, in person, felt that, Garcelle was trying to be nosy. It wasn't none of her business or her place to question or demand clarity. Now, speaking of conversations in relationship or situationship, this is your life. This is a reality show. You are meant to be speaking on what is happening in your life. And if cameras or paparazzi are capturing events for us and showing us, and then you have the platform to say this is exactly what's going on and you're not using it, it says a lot about you, Kaale. Like, I feel like you owe us now a few details. Like, what are you hiding? Nobody is going to judge you for the lifestyle you're choosing. It's just coming out, get it all out, and stop trying to beat around the bush, because that's exactly what she's doing here. She's stretching drama for no particular reason. Now, during this particular confrontation between Garcelle and Kaale, Sutton didn't say a word. Now, you would see, like, it felt like Garcelle wanted her to speak on it, but Sutton wasn't having it. This led to a frosty sit down between Sutton, Garcelle, and Jennifer. Jennifer, I just felt like Jennifer's like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to get involved. I'm just going to keep drinking my vodka or whatever. You guys leave me out of it. Sort it out yourselves. Sort it out yourself. It was just fun to watch Jennifer Tilly, I mean, just sit this one out and just watch the girls, navigate the nuances that is their relationship. Sutton felt that it wasn't Garcelle's place, or she didn't want to, beat Kaale while she's already down. She's just gonna let this particular battle go. And Garcelle was like, okay, I'm gonna go to my bedroom. So they both went to bed upset. Well, in the next morning, they kind of saw each other's point of view, resolved it. Meanwhile, at Casa or Villa de Bose, Bose and Erica, or Bose, wanted to let Dorit know that she should have let it go once Sutton had apologized, but Erica then decided she had a bone to collect, and this bone is from 3 seasons ago, right? She felt, yeah, this is Sutton's memo. She always comes across as apologetic, supportive, but in the other hand, she displays a mean-spirited behavior or antagonizing behavior to the women that oftentimes then questions what the apology that she gives actually mean, or if she means it. I can understand this, but I feel like we haven't really given such an opportunity to express herself to the point where the girls will just accept her for who she is, not nitpick on everything she says, because that's exactly what is happening. And Sutton is not one to sit back. She's going to come back and bite and try and bite hard. That's exactly what is just happening. They're not letting go, and it's not going to end well. They have to resolve, come to an agreement, and just say, we're just going to agree to disagree. Now, during the final scene on the catamaran, Sutton felt the need to re-echo her apology. Okay, I think she should have not said anything, because if she had not said anything, maybe it would have been a fun ride. However, when she re-echoed the apology, Erica just pounced and literally said, oh, you subject women to such antagonistic behavior. You put women down when they are already on the floor and you try and drag them. And I think this particular phrase got Sutton irate. She was like, no, that's not me. You are again pulling me down as well, picking on everything I say. What do you want from me? And Dorit still sees the opportunity to again re-echo how she is feeling about every other thing that she's been done, that's been done to her by Sutton. I'm like, we're gonna go back to this. And this is where it gets really interesting, because Garcelle did not come to her defense. Garcelle said nothing. And I feel like Garcelle is feeling insecure with the relationship or the situation that's happening between Sutton and Kaale. And so she's like, well, maybe Kaale can come to her defense, which I felt was very childish. But I think at this point, the girls can actually see that Garcelle is her own person. She can speak for herself. And she is not Sutton's lapdog. Because this particular scene sort of echoed that sentiment for all, to the ladies. Sutton decided she was going to walk off the boat. But you know what? You guys are on sea. Where you gonna go? You want to fly off the window onto the water? And then Katy, sort of rallied around her to help her navigate her or whatever feeling she was feeling at the moment. This is where it ends. Okay, I don't feel it was proper for Erica to come for Sutton, given how delicate the situation already is between the group. I felt it was something she could have handled differently. Yeah, she had an axe to grind, quite, fair. But why don't you do it on a one-on-one basis where Sutton would be receptive enough to take accountability? Because she already took accountability for the Caspia Caviar event. All right. So now there's now a lot more pile-on. She went back, on her defensive move and decided, no, I'm not going to take this. I'm going to defend myself. She has decided she was going to put Erica and Dorit's relationship between her on ice. So it's going to be left at sea. The catamaran might actually hit an iceberg at this point, because Sutton her eyes were just like, flashing fire. But I hope that we can come to some type of resolution in the next episode, because at this point, it's literally, they are hanging on the sea. We're leaving them there until the next episode. And so, guys, what do you think about this whole dynamics, the relationship between Dorit, Sutton, and Erica? There seemed to be no end in sight to their chaos, animosity, and angst. I don't know what we're gonna do at this point. Maybe Andy might help, resolve things at the reunion, because there's nothing working here. But guess what? We're going to unpack a little bit more further in the next episode. But thank you so much for watching. You are deserving. Stay safe and stay focused. I am sweating. And bye.